All right, we're out at the home of Miss Leonard. She is going to be working with us to do some siding on the house. Pretty straightforward project, but there are some little intricacies here that we need to look at. So first of all, looking at the front of the house here, um, important thing to mention is we have all, well, we didn't, but she has already replaced the siding in the atrium, so we don't need to do anything at all with that. There's a couple things on the front here we'll talk about in a second, but before we do that, I wanted to kind of tricky place that we just noticed as we were doing the walk around. So there's a little triangle that you can see right there. So that triangle's on the 0 lot line, and we are going to paint the soffit on this 0 lot line side. So we need to make sure that we get over here to paint the soffit and the fascia and do the siding on this little triangle right here as part of the project. So that will be, again, a great candidate for overlay. So we can just overlay that with the Cedar Mill Select 8 1/4, which is the board we'll be using everywhere on the house. And then on the rest of the siding over here, or excuse me, rest of the siding work or the scope of our work, we'll just be painting the soffit and fascia. So I wanted to take a look at that real quick just so we don't miss it. And then as we go back to the front here, we're going to do a couple little different things on the front here. So on this gable up top here, we're just painting that gable, and then we're basically replacing all the frieze board with Hardie 1x2 up in on the upper gable. So painting and then replacing the frieze board. Down below on the actual porch again here, we're just painting. So we'll leave the bars and the storm door on, and we will just paint the siding around that area. We're going to leave the porch ceiling. Now that I just noticed, even though we're painting the soffit and fascia, there's really no transition piece. So we're going to have to look at that. We may end up having to paint that just out of necessity to blend it all in properly. But we did not scope for painting the porch ceiling. So if we can paint that, you know, kind of blend that in somehow, then we'll have to do that. But we'll make that decision once we get out here. But definitely on the underside here, painting all of this, painting all the fascia, the soffit, just basically tape. We're not going to remove any of those wrap around the 90-degree tiles. Just going to have to paint and tape off accordingly. Painting the garage door frames and the garage doors. Pretty much match the same color that they are now. So no big change there. Just do that. There's the same little apron above this window here. That's going to be painted as well. That won't be replaced. So around back is where, you know, this side and the back is where the majority, well, it's really where all the siding work is. So here, you can see this is where the siding starts. There's a couple places, we're doing a very conservative tear off here. There's a few places that out of necessity have already been replaced with Hardie vertical, the Select Sierra 8. So those areas we're overlaying 99%, 98% of the siding. So most of those places we'll just put our Tyvek on and then do our overlay. All the carriage lights, there's I believe five total carriage lights. Those will all be taken down and then reinstalled. And good relationship. Miss Leonard has a great relationship with her neighbor on that 0 lot side, so it'll be no problem for us to get in there to do the painting and that little triangle. All the windows, doors, everything on this side will be trimmed in a 1x4. But here's the main problem, which is why we came out today. The whole, pretty much from here, and also it extends back here where the unit is, the AC unit. See that? So pretty much we're cutting the skirt about a foot up down this entire side, because that's where the rod is originating, right down at that bottom starting run. So the window box, we'll do that around the window box, and we will trim all the windows again and the corners in a Hardie material. We got this hose bib here. Miss Leonard did not want the water to be treated or softened, the cold water coming into her kitchen sink. So that's why we have this faucet here. So we're gonna have to work around that and do what we need to do to make sure that we don't disrupt that or damage that, because it was done intentionally. We are here. She's not sure what she's gonna do with this arbor yet. So it causes a little complication, but we're just gonna paint the best we can, paint around it, and then when she decides what she's going to do with the arbor, they will actually touch up where it joins into the fascia. We don't want to have to worry about this side and her neighbor, and also what to do with this area, so we just kind of decided we're going to paint in between there to the best that we can, and then start normal going down this run here. So that's pretty much what we got. I did spec for basically taking the gutter down and putting it back up. It's really just, it's not really held on much, so it shouldn't be that hard just to put that back up when we're done. Shouldn't need Chris McClendon or anybody to do that for us. It should be, since it's not a primary area, just tack that back up there for her. Here you can see where the rot has gotten so bad that there was actually some aluminum sheeting put on to take care of the rot. So by us doing this, we'll get rid of the rot, and then this will be Hardie plank, so we'll never have this issue again, and she can be rest assured that the house is maintenance free, and then also, not going to have to worry about anything when she sells. So we're going to have these bushes cut back here. As I mentioned in the job notes, the grass she's trying to get this all to grow back, so we want to be extra careful. We shouldn't, for any reason, need to be walking on the grass because we have this walkway right here. But I want to make sure it's completely notated here that she's trying to get this grass to grow back. There's compost down. We just need to stay off the grass, basically. So set up a cut area, set up a cut area here or wherever, somewhere else, but not on this grass back here. 2 more carriage lights. We got 2 gable vents up there we're going to have to wrap. And then basically this whole backside, this would just power wash off. It's not rot. But this side will be, aside from again cutting the foot skirt, this side here, the whole back will be an overlay, painting the fascia and the soffit as well. Let's see, so these will all be cut back, so we have some room to work back there, and then we go to the 0 lot line on that side. So that's kind of what our scope is. Again, pretty straightforward. But that's our our scope of work. New 1x4 trim around both doors, obviously. 1x4 trim around the gable vents. Gable vents are fine, so we just need to paint those, and those will be in great shape. And that's pretty much as simple as it is. Gilbert, Dave, whoever gets the project, she's a very sweet lady. Let's take very good care of her. And she's really looking forward, based on her reputation and everything that she knows us to be about. She's very excited for the opportunity to work with us, and looking forward to a great experience. So thank you so much, Miss Leonard, and we look forward to the pleasure of working with you. Thank you.